Today we're going to discuss why a negative angle stem will make you faster. It's an upgrade that you can spend minimum money on, and it's going to make a huge difference. Now, before we start, this is not something you're going to do right off the bat. So on both bikes, I have a negative angle stem. Now this took me over a year to work to. I when I first got both bikes, I had spacers on them, different stems, and the more comfortable I got, and the more, stronger and flexible, I was able to do this over time. So if this is something you're interested in, again, you have to look at it like a long-term project, because you're not going to be able to do this right away, because every part of your body is going to hurt, from your hands, neck, shoulders, all that. So you got to, ease your way into it and just do small adjustments. So for example, on the Cannondale, I started, when I first got it, I didn't have too many spacers. All I had was, people have probably seen it, that Volcano spacer that comes with a lot of bikes. So figure that to be, let's call that three, or maybe four regular spacers. So I had that for a while, and rode, a lot, thousands of miles, get comfortable on the bike, because the CAD frame's an aggressive frame to begin with. So I did that, and then, I cut the spacers, and I had on an 8-degree stem. Again, rode that hundreds of miles like that, and then I finally switched to a negative degree stem. So this is a 3T. This is the ARX team stem, which classic. Seen on a lot of road bikes, over the last couple of decades. Guys still use this stem. The negative 17-degree angle sits real nice. I mean, especially with the classic style bars. That's why I like it too. Because the classic style bars, you got to drop the brake levers a little bit, so you get that, as you can see, you get that parallel action from here to here, so your hands sit nice there. So I find that really comfortable, because I'm used to riding, a track bike, so this is comfortable for me. People may not think it is, but again, if you can ride for a very long time and no parts of your body hurt, hands, neck, shoulders, arms, knees, lower back, no saddle sores, you're probably doing something right. All right, and now we're gonna move to the Bianchi. And this is a 130 millimeter stem. I mean, this is a 54 frame. I always ride smaller frames just because they're better at handling and you can go faster, and they always look cooler too. I probably should ride a 55, or someplace probably even I'd say 56, but I'm not about that life. Smaller frames look better, go smaller, better control. And a longer stem, honestly, too, is way better for handling, especially when you get into the drops. I ride in the drops, but majority of the time, to be honest. Not majority, I just probably say 50-50. I'm used to riding in the drops from this. So, I'm able to get pretty comfortable position with this right here. All right, so yeah, 130 on a 54 frame, and then this is a 140 on a 53 frame. And again, same thing with this. When I got it, I had a lot of spacers on it. I had a 8-degree stem too. Again, because you got to get used to riding these bikes. But a lot of people don't realize, if you're getting, a bike, a track bike or a road bike like the Cannondale or the Specialized delay. These bikes are meant to be, they're aggressive geometry bikes, like they're racing bikes. Even though the Cannondale, $1,300 bike, with the frame and with all the stuff it comes with, like this frame is better than $5,000-$6,000 frames I've run in, just because it feels good. A carbon frame obviously is stiffer, faster, lighter, but the aluminum and the carbon here actually makes for a pretty smooth ride. But yeah, back to what I was saying, I kind of went a little tangent there. So yeah, a lot of these bikes, like people buy these bikes and there's no point of buying them unless they're not set up. If you don't plan to set them up, and again, I don't do this. I don't race. I'm not into Strava, power meters, any of that. Really, I do this because it's fun, and I'm into the aesthetics of them, and learning how to ride them. So for me, like I said, I just took it on like a project, you know, had spacers, you know, and little by little, the more comfortable you get, the better you get. You know, you're gonna be able to drop your stem, get that negative stem. You just see how good it looks. I mean, look how clean it looks. You know, big difference. So yeah, probably the best upgrade you can make is investing long term in yourself in the terms of, well, I'm going to get flexible enough, strong enough where I don't need, you know, fancy, overpriced carbon, you know, wheels, helmet, blah, 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 blah. And to end this, I'm going to read this. So this isn't me. When I was actually looking, searching for stems, so this is the Envy SES Arrow Road stem. I'm just going to read what they say, because this is a negative 17 stem. I mean, this is the top of the line one. I had no interest, obviously, in getting way out of my ballpark for price, but they give a good description. And yeah, both of these stems I got used on eBay for, I think, 50 each, and they're the best stems I've ever had. Stiff, comfortable, light. But anyway, let me just end this real quick. So Envy's talking about why a negative stem is really the best thing you can get in terms of, you know, saving energy and really slicing through the wind. All right, since the rider makes up majority of aero drag, a lower position is often much more meaningful reduction in drag than an aero helmet, frame set, or wheel set. And because the stem's angle adjustability allows you to dial in your handlebar height without having to resort to additional headset spacers. It allows for cleaner airflow. They're talking about their thing now. But yeah, so they're saying because of how this stem puts me in a very, you see from the handlebar, I can get real low on this. But again, it took me a while to work myself up to be flexible enough. But yeah, you just see it. So you don't need the expensive carbon wheels, frame sets, all that nonsense, all right? Stretch, lift some weights here and there, get bands, you know, get one of those kettlebells right there. That's all I use right there, and that'll help you, all right? Faster. We get faster by getting more flexible and just making, you know, simple adjustments to the bikes, making the bikes work for us, you know, because I get back to my point before, people don't really utilize and understand the power these bikes have. They just have to be set up properly and set up how they're supposed to be set up, you know? And it makes a world of difference. Because both of these, you know, here, this, you know, the Cannondale probably built up with everything. They're probably each about $2,500, honestly, all built up with the parts. Obviously, the Bianchi's more. Kind of want some higher end parts on this, you know, because why not flex, you know? But mix of used parts, new parts, and that's it. Yeah. So like I said, each bike $2,500. I mean, that's all. Like, you know, I shouldn't say all. I mean, that is expensive and a lot for bikes. But you know, they work. They're fast and make the custies with their Cervelos and Pinarellos. You know, leave them in the dust when they see these two. All right, that's all we got for today. Peace.